I've been looking through some of my older books and I found this one, Lifelike Drawing in Coloured Pencil with Lee Hammond. Now, I didn't really know much about Lee Hammond when I bought this book, but I could see on the cover it says over 500,000 Lee Hammond titles sold. So I thought, well, here's a popular author. I'm going to have a look at this book. I like the cover, I like the idea of lifelike drawing, and I want to use my coloured pencils more. So this was published in 2008 by Northlight. It's a paperback with 144 pages. So we'll see there's Lee there. Now we have here getting started, techniques, round and cylindrical objects, rectangular objects and perspective, fabric and texture, transparent objects, metallic objects, nature, animals and people. Now what I like about this book is we have quite a variety of subjects. So when you're starting off with a new medium, it's always good to have different subjects in one book because you can have lots of practice then. Now we start off here, we have 2 examples of people that Lee has helped. We've got their before pictures and their after pictures to see they've learnt quite a bit. So we have getting started with the pencils. These are Prismacolor, but you can get conversion charts to use other pencils if you don't have the Prismacolor. Got some colour swatches there of all the different colours. And we have some techniques. I really love those butterflies, they're very nice. So we start off with layering, burnishing, some value scales. We move on to colour. And we have elements of shading, basic shapes, and drawing from photos with a grid. And then we have a very simple demonstration here, just 3 steps. It lists the colours, and you know, you have to, there's not a lot of different illustrations, so you just read through each step. It is quite easy to see what Lee is explaining, and you're just building up your colours there. Now if you haven't got the same pencils, it's good you can use that little swatch chart that we had back there to pick similar colours. It's always good when you are following a demonstration, when you're new to a subject, that you do try and use the same colours because it makes it easier to see that you're getting the same effect. So we have another demonstration here which has a few more steps. And we move on to round and cylindrical objects. Now this is great fun, I love this. We have demonstration with an apple and a pear. Again, we only have 3 steps. So instead of having lots of different little illustrations with simple steps, you've got more in each step. So you're going to have to read through more. But that's not a major problem. I didn't find it too difficult to follow. And then we have pumpkin and apples. It's lovely. Got some more cylindrical shapes. And then we have the demonstration here. This one's got a few more steps. Lovely finished items. We have got things to remember. We move on to rectangular objects and perspective. Lots of examples. And fabric and textures. So we have lots of textures in here. And then we have transparent objects. Wine glasses. A basket. A non-transparent bowl. And we move on to metallic objects. And then we have nature. So this is a chapter that I always like, nature and flowers and leaves. We've we've got water droplets there. That's always a nice thing to learn to add. And we have water and waves, skies and clouds, and then we move on to animals of fur. Now, I did have another book of Lee's which was just on animals, but somewhere along the way that has either been borrowed or given away. Quite sad, because I did want to show you that book, but there are animals in here, so we have got some animals. And then we move on to people. Skin tones, portraits, and a conclusion. So I think this is a really useful book. Oh, that's the one I had that's gone missing or lost. But never mind, because this I think is a really nice book to keep, because it has got all the different subjects in there. It's a really useful book to have. So that's Lee Hammond, Lifelike Drawing in Coloured Pencil. As I mentioned at the beginning, you will probably have to buy this as a used copy. I would say try and get an actual paper copy rather than a Kindle, because I think it's so much easier to use. But if you can only get a Kindle, I'm not even sure if this one is actually on Kindle. I'm sure it is. I'm sure I've seen it on Kindle. But my preference is for a used book rather than a Kindle book. So I hope you like that one. If you've already got any Lee Hammond books, I'm sure you will know her. But yes, I think this is a great little introduction to lots of different subjects in coloured pencil.